Guys, Rob Davis here with One Blue Robot, and I am with Stephanie, who is a client in this beautiful home we're going to be showing you of Gary Chastain and Crestmont Custom Homes. And she has been gracious enough to let us come into her home and ask her some questions about why she chose this home, why she chose Gary Chastain, what her experience was with working with Gary through that whole process. So Stephanie, thank you for being here.
Yes.
Great to get to visit with you, and your home is stunning. You chose this home, it was already under construction, It's a spec home, and tell me a little bit about what you saw in this home and why you chose it to begin.
We walked in, it was kind of a quick weekend. We come in from Colorado to look for a home. We were kind of in a rush, and we walked in and we had kind of talked about what we wanted, and of course we all watched Fixer Upper, and we watched, and I want this really pretty clean lines, white house, and it was like Gary had picked out everything in my brain that I wanted in my house, and it was all in this house. So when we saw this house as a spec, the cabinets were in, and I just loved the style of cabinets that we had in. And then as the granite went in, I love this granite. I love having this open area. We host people a lot. We love having people at our house. And so this just is very, very conducive to having people over. We can have people sit on the other side and we can talk to them. When I'm doing dishes, I feel like I'm apart. I'm not away from everybody. We have this amazing stove. It's a decor stove range, and it's amazing. I wish it makes me look like I'm a gourmet chef, but everyone knows I'm not. First meeting with Gary, he came in, we started talking, and he started showing me little details. One of the fun features, one of those little bitty details that I was super surprised that Gary thought of. And so that is this really cool little spot where you can put your foot as you shave your leg. And I was like, how did you think of that? Like, that is so smart. Like, he was just thinking ahead. He was thinking about what the homeowner would like to have in their home, practical things that you would need in your home, as far as just little details that he would just show me. And I was like, how did you know that? He goes, it's not my first house that I've ever built. And I was like, okay, yeah, I get it. Okay, another thing I love about this house are these barn doors. They're super cool. This is my husband's office. It's a study or media room, but we use it as an office. And so it's just awesome. He can close it off, but it looks so fabulous. It was just so well thought out. He had a plan. He knew what colors he wanted. He knew exactly what he wanted. So when we decided to, buy the house, there wasn't a lot we had to change because he had already thought of all those details. And so that was so comforting to me. And because he had a great design team, it was just like, yeah, I love that. You picked out, it was literally like he had picked out exactly everything that I had wanted. I love these sliding doors. They are just such an amazing focal point to our big backyard, and they were just something that if we had a checklist of all the things that we'd want in our house, it was sliding doors.
You mentioned that I thought was interesting as well, that you had 5 weeks, your kids were starting new schools. You didn't want this to be the focus of your life. Right. By coming here with all of those changes.
We just moved in and started living our life. We didn't have to worry about, redoing things or remodeling, or, it was just so easy, we just moved in and we started living our life. Okay, so one of the things that I loved, like Gary's little details, things that he thought through, was this pantry. And he made this for like coffee, but we have shakes every day. And so this has been a perfect little nook. So I don't have to have my blender out all the time because I don't like things on my counter. And so I can just have my little shake station right here. And it's so awesome. All my Beachbody friends are so jealous. They have they have pantry envy. I was in Colorado for most of that 5 weeks. So
you weren't even here.
I wasn't even in town. And so we would be on the phone. We would, message each other, text, call, and he would keep me up to date on like where things were and how far off we were, and we were praying like crazy because there was a lot of things that he couldn't do anything about, like the electricity company. The electricity wasn't hooked up because we live in this like random street, and so we were having to wait for them, and then as soon as they hit, he was ready. And then he got all his people in, and he worked so fast to get us in this house in 5 weeks. It was like a miracle.
not only did you have an experience, you weren't here.
No.
You had 5 weeks to get in here.
Yes.
Gary had all the issues that a builder normally has to deal with, right? With the things you're mentioning, the electricians, and you're out here in a rural area. Yet with you being gone, with all of that happening, you still got it done. Gary got it done.
This is my office. Welcome. I love this space. It just makes me feel like such a big girl. I love the detail of the wainscoting. I think that's what they call that. But the detail, the pretty gray, it's so beautiful. And I love just having this room. So it was so evident once I got in how blessed we were that he was on top of things. And I always felt like he was on top of things. He was always letting us know what was going on, where we were. I feel like this was his baby. Like, this was Gary's baby, and he already had thought exactly everything he wanted in this house. And so it was his project, it was his love, he had researched, he knew exactly what he wanted in this house. So I had trust in him that he was gonna be able to get it done, because he already had planned and he already had thought about, his baby being born, and he planned it. I just kind of came in at the end and said, okay, I really like what you're doing and I want that house. He said, oh, I brought my girls over here and they picked out which rooms they would want. And he definitely thought about, like, as a parent, like, what do we want in our house? What's helpful in raising your kids? Like, what is the space that you need? And then this bathroom is one of the things that really sold us on this. It has 2 separate showers, a toilet that's closed off, 2 separate vanities. One of us has a way bigger vanity, which I love, and just plenty of room, an amazing standing tub that I've taken many baths in. But this, whenever I show this house, I always bring them in this bathroom, and everyone has major bathroom envy. Just down to the details that I don't think a normal builder would think that detailed. As far as like the outside electricity, like he had the wiring for Christmas lights. So like when they put the lights in, there was a plug up there. That to me. Who
thinks of that?
Yeah, like who thinks of those little bitty details that he did? Okay, so this bathroom is one of the things that sold me on this house. How amazing is this vanity? I love it. It's so beautiful. This is the other thing that I just love is this shower. It's beautiful. The tile is amazing. Just the detail of it. And this is something that absolutely sold me on this house. Because he is a custom builder, that's the difference. It's his baby, it's his project, and he has such pride in what he does, and so I think that makes it, you can tell a difference, I definitely think. So you have to have confidence in that person that they're gonna build a quality, that it's not gonna fall apart, that if things go wrong, they're gonna fix them. If I was to build again, I would totally have him. I would tell everybody, I'm like, Gary, you need to go with Gary. And also the quality. Every time I open my doors and they're so thick and amazing, I'm like, this is like what you pay for,